Hello, welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher. And for those of you who don't know, just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher, thank you for stopping by. So we're here to do a reaction, and we're diving back into the Untamed. We're diving into episode 3. It's been a few weeks since I reacted to episode 2, which you guys do not stop letting me know. And I'm like, y'all, I know how long it's been since I've reacted to it because I was there. But we are diving back into it. Before we get into it, I just want to clear up some things because I feel like there are a lot of new people who joined us on this channel because of the Untamed and haven't been with us long, and just there's some confusion about how certain things work and whatnot. So I just want to clear it up so I don't have to keep repeating myself. So first things, I know I saw a couple comments on episode 2's reaction where they're like, oh, I thought this was a reaction, but it's actually just a commentary video, sad face. So, to answer that question, yes, this is still a reaction video. Unlike with episode 1, where I could post my reaction with the video included, I just had to block out the video. Episode 2, for whatever reason, did not allow me to do that. Once I uploaded that reaction edited the same way I did episode 1's, where I just kind of blurred out the video, it got blocked immediately, and it's like, oh, well, the audio for the episode is included here, so we're going to block this. Why they did that with episode 2 and not episode 1, I don't know. But the same thing happened with my Word of Honor reactions, except the first 2 episodes were fine. The first 2 episodes I uploaded with the video itself blocked out, and it was fine. But then every episode after that, even when I would block out the video, I'd get the immediate block notice from YouTube that, oh, the audio for episode 3, the audio for episode 4, blah, 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 was included, so we're blocking this worldwide. It's like, ah. So then what I had to do is I just had to cut out the reaction part from YouTube and post the full reaction over on my Patreon. Which, in every video that I do that, right after I finish my intro and I'm like, okay, well, let's get into this, I throw up on the screen for about 5 seconds, full reaction on Patreon, link in the description. So, if you're joining this and you see me just jump to the credits, assuming that you're actually watching the intro, I know some people just kind of jump straight over to the episode and don't really care about people's intros, but assuming you watch the intro, you would see where it says it on the screen, full reaction on Patreon, link down in the description. It is a reaction video. If you'd like to watch the reaction video, just click the link down in the description. It'll take you over to the Patreon where you can watch the full reaction. Okay? Second thing I saw some confusion about were a couple people who did see that part, who did see like full reaction on Patreon. They're like, oh, this is over on Patreon. I guess I can't join you guys on this journey, but you guys enjoy. To that, again, I just need us to pay a little bit closer attention, because on that same screen where I say the full reaction on Patreon, I put in bold and I put in all caps, and I do this for a reason, because every time I start a new series, almost every time I start a new series, and I have to put it over on Patreon instead of on YouTube, I get these same sort of questions. But in caps, it says full video on Patreon, in caps, for free. Link in the description. Because my Patreon is free and open to the public. Yes, I have my videos over on Patreon, but for me, I don't use Patreon as a way to make money. People who are my patrons and join me to support me are doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They're not getting any like sort of special benefits, except for some of the higher paying patrons get like a guaranteed reaction request, but it's not like they're getting to see things that other people can't see. My Patreon really is just a place for me to hold videos that I can't put on YouTube because YouTube has blocked them for whatever reason. So if you're interested in watching any of my reactions that are available on Patreon, again, just click the link down in the description and it will take you over to Patreon for free. You don't even have to sign up for Patreon. It'll just take you to the Patreon post. You click the little video thing and it should open up and play for you relatively easily. And if you have issues playing it, just let me know. I've had people message me on various social media sites or just write me in the comment section like, hey, this video's not working for me. Can you help me out, or do I have to do this, blah, blah, blah. And more times than not, I can kind of help them. Sometimes it's just a glitch in the system, or it might be something on their end on their computer, but I try to help how I can. But you don't have to pay to see any of my videos on Patreon. All my Patreon is open to the public. So let me clarify. On YouTube, I can only post my intro and my Topher's Thought section, because as soon as I post anything with the audio, YouTube flags it, blocks it, and you can't see the video. So I post those there so that you can see that I've reacted to the episode. And then the link in the description will take you to my Patreon, which is free, so you can watch all the videos for free. You don't have to pay a thing. You don't have to pay a cent. If you'd like to join Patreon and you want to give me money, that's fantastic. I'll always take it. But like, you don't have to. Everything is free. Okay? So I hope that cleared up those two things. And then one other thing that I wanted to clear up, because I know there are a lot of, again, new people joining us for the Untamed, and after this I'm going to get to the episode. But I know there's a lot of you new guys joining the Untamed, and you're not really used to my upload schedule, or you don't really know what my upload schedule is or how I proceed through a series, blah blah blah. And that's understandable, because again, you're new to the series. People who've been with me for a while are kind of used to it, whatnot. But when it comes to this series and any other series I react to, I don't really have a set schedule. Like, I don't like to say I'm gonna post a reaction to this every week or every Thursday or this, that, and the other, because sometimes my weeks are busy. My work schedule is varied, it's variable. Some weeks I have far more of a heavier workload, other weeks I have a lighter workload, and I can record more and more and more. YouTube, contrary to popular belief, YouTube is not my job. YouTube is not my job. Even though I'm typically good at uploading on a daily basis, more times than not, multiple videos on a daily basis, YouTube is not my job. It doesn't pay my bills. It's a hobby. There are a lot of things I react to, especially when it comes to series, I can't monetize because, well, copyright. The BL series companies don't let us monetize. So, I don't make an abundance of money on YouTube. I don't. It's not a job, it's a hobby. I do things because I love them. But as soon as I start saying I'm going to put out this video to this series every week or every Thursday or whatever it is, if I haven't already put out the video for that week, and the end of the week is starting to approach, then I start to feel pressured, and it feels less like a fun hobby and more like, okay, it's an obligation. I've got to do this because I said I was going to do this. And when it starts to feel like an obligation, I don't like to. I don't enjoy it as much. I like to just record it when I want to watch something, and then I don't record things when I don't want to watch things. But also, there are times that I am just very, very busy. Very busy. And I've seen a number of comments. Shout out to Clara for being observant, because I feel like one of the only people in my comment section to episode 2 who were kind of observant to things and watch my channel update videos, because that's why I make channel update videos, to update you guys. And I know a lot of you guys don't watch my channel update videos because I see the numbers. But that's why I make channel update videos, to keep you guys in loop. If you guys had seen my channel update video, then you would have seen where I clearly said, hey, I'm going to continue this series, this series, this series, and this series throughout the month of March. One of those series being the Untamed. So there are a lot of people questioning, because I hadn't posted a reaction in a week, are you going to continue the series? Oh, I guess he dropped the series. Too bad, his loss. I can't believe he's dropping the series. It's such a good series. I'm like, y'all, I'm not dropping anything. I'm not dropping anything. I just haven't watched it. I haven't recorded. Like, literally today, this recording session that I've been doing is the first time I've sat down to record anything in 3 weeks. Even though I was posting consistently for like the first 2 of those weeks, and then over the last week things have just kind of dwindled down. If you guys pay attention to like the thumbnails and whatnot for the videos I'm posting, I think all of the videos I posted over the last 3 weeks had like one of 3 outfits, because they were from 3 recording sessions that I did at the end of February. And I just had an abundance of stuff that I could just edit and upload. But then over last week, I ran out of stuff. So then I think it's been like 7 or 8 days since my last video that I posted at this point. So I get busy. This coming week, I'm scheduled for 6 12-hour shifts in a row, 6 days in a row. That's 72 hours of work. That's 32 hours of overtime. It's a lot. So that's not every week. Every week I'm not always super busy with work. Some weeks you'll hear me say, oh, I'm off tomorrow and I'm off blah, 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 blah. I still have very long work days, the days that I am working. But yes, I work for a living, multiple jobs. So I'm sorry that sometimes I can't always get to upload things as quickly as you would like me to, but I mean, I'm not sorry. That's just the reality of it. I can't always upload things as quickly as you'd like me to because A, I work, I'm busy, and B, this series isn't the only series that I react to on this channel. I'm currently in the middle of either 4 or 5 series on this channel. Plus, this channel was a music reaction channel long before it was a series reaction channel. So I also have my music reactions, and then I have my other YouTube channel where I'm going on my journey learning Filipino. So like I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of eggs in the basket. But I will get to things when I get to them, and that's all I can really say. So now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, I'm sure 90% of you guys have just skipped past this and just gone straight to my reaction to the episode. So if that is the case, well, I don't know. If you guys ask me questions that I've already answered here, then I'm just going to either send you a link to this video again, or I might just block you, keep you from commenting because I've already answered the questions and I don't feel like repeating myself. I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. But either way, we're going to dive into episode 3 and just see where the things go. We left episode 2. They're having a little battle on the battlefield, and then we kind of flew into a flashback at kind of the beginning before all of the war and this, that, the other. So we're going to just dive in and see what this flashback takes us. I know a number of you guys told me that this flashback lasts for like 10 or 15 episodes, so we're going to be in a flashback for a while. Okay, highly entertaining, and we've got introduced to a few more, well, not a few, a handful of new characters, at least new for me. Y'all are already intimately familiar with these characters, but yeah, so I got to meet a handful of new characters because I needed more names and faces to keep track of in this series. Like I've said a number of times throughout the beginning of this series and when I was reacting to Word of Honor, there's just so much. There is so much, especially with the length of how long this show is. There is so much world building, so many characters, that it is going to be very difficult for me to keep track of all of these things at first. It usually takes me episodes to get people's names semi sort of committed to memory, but I will try. And I know a number of you guys have recommended like taking notes, and I've meant to do that because I've rewatched the first 2 episodes before I dove into this, because that's another reason I kind of held off on diving, because I had a couple days off during the last week or so, but I kind of just focused on other projects and I didn't get the chance to rewatch the first 2 episodes, but I wanted to rewatch those before I dove into episode 3, just to kind of remind myself of what happened in 2 episodes and just kind of just see if I can piece together some things that I might have missed on my first watch. And there were a couple instances of things that I either missed or things that just made sense on the second watch, even though I'm only 2 episodes in, rewatching those 2 episodes. So I watched them when I was at the gym on the treadmill, and it helped things make a little bit more sense. So I think I might do that with this episode as well. When I'm at the gym in the morning, I'll rewatch this episode and just see if there's anything that I missed. But yes, very, very entertaining, and it's nice to see just the introduction for this ship and their love story. So we're going for that not really enemies to lovers trope, kind of opposites attract, I guess you could say, where so Xian, I think is his name, because again they have like 15 names that you guys told me, and that's gonna make things even more fun to try and keep track of when they start calling each other names. I think Wuxian, he is much more carefree and impulsive and flying by the seat of his pants, and then we have Lan Zhan, who is a lot more strict, rigid, by the book, here are the rules, da da da. So sometimes those opposites can attract and make this just beautifully dynamic kind of relationship, and other times they are just opposing forces and they are just not meant to mesh. Sometimes they mesh and sometimes they just butt heads entirely, and they are not meant to get along. So I'm assuming from just things I know about the series, that it is probably the former. They are going to mesh and make a very dynamic kind of relationship. Very fiery, very tumultuous, very, it won't be boring between the two of them. They will love, and they will love hard. They will fight probably, and they will fight hard. They will get into arguments, but the love and the feelings are going to be very, very strong and intense, because they are just such opposing forces that when they, it's almost like opposing forces coming to complete, you know, two halves of the same picture, versus just like two forces that just don't mesh. So I look forward to seeing the development. But yeah, it's nice to see the introduction to their relationship, how they met the first time, how they saw each other, how they reacted to one another. And I love Lan Zhan's his silencing charm, and how he's just like, you know what, I'm tired of listening to bitches talk right now. Y'all talking too damn much. I'm not even gonna wave my hand. I'm not gonna say a spell. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna just look at you, and your ass gonna stop talking, because I just don't have time for it. Lord, if I had that power, there would be a lot of silent bitches in this world, let me tell you. Lord, let me tell you, because heaven knows, working on a school campus and working with all ages, working with elementary school kids, middle school kids, high school kids, hell, some of the adults that I got to work with that come in and rent our facility from time to time, just know how to work a damn nerve. So if I had that power, Lord, you bet your ass bitches would be charmed left, right, up, down, center. And I'm not going to tell people that I have this power to charm. They just going to be like, oh, I can't talk, what's going on, and just start freaking out. Because I'm like, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Sometimes patience is a virtue, and sometimes they want to test my patience. So yes, I love how Lan Zhan is just like, I don't have time for your foolishness, shut the fuck up. And then they just shut the fuck up. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And I feel like Wuxia is going to be the recipient of that charm a lot. I feel, because even though I know that their relationship is going to become one of more of a loving relationship, still people who are in love argue and fight, and sometimes you just don't want to hear the other side. Sometimes you just don't want to hear your partner telling you some stuff, and you just want them to shut the hell up. So I feel like Wuxian is going to be the recipient of this charm in abundance throughout these 16 years. Now, I don't know if this flashback sequence that we're going to be in for the next however many episodes is going to take us through the 16-year span that led to Wuxian's death, or if it's just going to take us through these early stages, and then we're going to jump back to where we were at the end of episode 2. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But yeah, I love seeing that introduction, and I loved their battle on the rooftop in the courtyard. Again, opposing forces, and I'm sitting here not necessarily taking sides, but if I had to lean one way or the other, I'm swaying more on the side of Lan Zhan, where I'm like, hey, there are these rules, and you broke rule A, B, C, D, E, F, G, alpha, gamma. We ran out of alphabets in the English alphabet, so we're going to go over to Greek, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Like, you broke a lot of rules, okay? And this is very much a universe where being in like this martial arts kind of world, and I might use that term, that may not be how they refer to it in this world, but I'm just used to them using that term in Word of Honor, so I might accidentally dive into my Word of Honor terminology versus this for a while. But in this sort of martial arts kind of world where there are rules. It's a very rule-based society, rule-based organization. We have all these different clans, and we're at this summit or this retreat or whatever we're at, and we have these rules. We have these rules in place. So yes, you might be new to this clan and may not know all these rules, but that doesn't change the fact that we have all these rules in place. And I'm telling you, I've already told you 4 rules that you've broken in the last 6 hours that you've been in my presence. I don't know what rules you have broken while I was not around, or while you were off scampering to go find this invitation, I don't know what rules you broke then, but I've already listed 4 that you've broken in my presence, and I've only known you for like 6-8 hours at this point. So I get that you want to have a good time and you may not know all the rules, but at the end of the day, we got rules. So I'm gonna need you to calm the fuck down and follow the rules. So Wuxian's out here just floating around like a butterfly, again, living by the seat of his pants, like, oh, why are you so stringent? I just want to drink and party and have a good time and woo, party! Like a, college freshman who just got his first taste of alcohol. Like, baby, calm down. And meanwhile, Lan Zhan's over here, me, at the bar, born 40 years old, like, girl, I am over this nonsense. I'm over your drunken shenanigans. Can you just calm the fuck down and please be an adult? Like, mentality. So I'm leaning more towards Lan Zhan, where it's like, hey, we got these rules, and I need you to, even if you don't know all the rules, here's the ones you did break. So can you at least try to follow those rules, and we'll tell you about some of the other rules so you hopefully don't break those. But Xian's like, yeah, no, I ain't got time for rules. I don't like rules. I'm just gonna do what I do, and I'm just gonna fly out over here. And then Lan Zhan clearly doesn't have time for this, so he's whipping out his sword like, girl, I'ma cut you. I'ma cut you if you don't sit the fuck down. And Wuxian's taking this as like a fun challenge, like, oh, like it kind of reminds me of Goku in Dragon Ball Z, how even if it might be the fate of the world on the line, but it's a good ass fight. It is a good ass fight. He's like, you know what? I'm having fun right now. Let's go. Instead of just finishing the fucking fight and just ending it or walking away, he's like, you know what? Let's keep going. Let's fight. Let's do this. That's Wuxian right now. He could have, potentially ended things, or he could have just, behaved himself, let it be alone, apologize, whatever it needed to be. But no, he's like, you know what? Let's cause some shenanigans. Let's have this aerial battle right now. Okay, you trying to literally gouge my throat out with your sword. Okay, well, I'm gonna play around. Let's keep playing like this. Oh no, shit! You done cut the strings on my alcohol. Hold on, bitch. Let me go get my alcohol. No, you done broke my alcohol. I'm like, baby, focus, baby, focus. So he's a special little kitty. He's a special kitty who just has a very wild, youthful energy, and just needs some time. Although I can see from episode 1 and episode 2, he hasn't completely grown out of those behaviors. Exactly, there's still some of that present in some of the behaviors I was seeing in those episodes. But work in progress. We're trying. But yeah, it's cute seeing their interactions, and I liked how Lan Zhan's brother, I'm assuming brother, because he mentioned that their father passed and how he's grown so rigid, this, that, and the other. So I'm assuming brother. It may not be like blood brother. It may just be like in a clan sense. Oh, you're my brother. But I like how he's like, girl, there are lots of clansmen from different clans who are in your age range. It's time for you to make some friends. I like that child from that other clan, though. He's smart. He's lively. He's got beautiful soft eyes and cheekbones and the hair that floats in the wind. And he can fight, girl. Weren't you guys tied? And every time his name was mentioned, you could see Lan Zhan just grip that sword for dear life. I thought that sword was going to turn into dust. Every time we zoomed in on him just putting that death grip on his sword, because it's like, I can't, don't you mention this man's name around me. This man infuriates me. But again, we're the opposites attract / sort of enemies to lovers thing. It's going to turn into a very passionate love. Right now, it's a very passionate annoyance, but it's going to turn into a passionate love. So I'm excited to see that take place. And like I said, we got to meet some new characters. We met. I don't know if he's necessarily the leader of Lan Zhan's clan. I think he had the Lan family name or clan name. So I think he might have been when they were investigating the bewitched zombie body thing. So we met him and the brother person. We met the senior sister's betrothed at the tavern, hotel, wherever they were. Who else did we meet? We got to meet some new potential antagonists. The Overlord person, the beautiful henchwoman lady who reminds me of Beauty Ghost in the sense that she's on this quote unquote bad side. I don't know if this is going to be like Word of Honor, where even though we're calling them the bad guys for right now, there's not actual, it's all just gray area, and actually the bad guys are these good guys over here, the alleged good guys. I don't know if it's going to be like that or if they're actually just going to be the bad guys. But she's reminded me of that sort of Beauty Ghost, just gorgeous henchwoman person on the bad side for now. But who seems to have a softness to her. When she was asking, hey, can I bring so-and-so with me? He's weak and, has a poor constitution, this, that, the other. Like, she cares about him, wants to, make sure he's taken care of and he's all right while she's out and about looking for this piece of the tiger iron or whatever it was. So I'm interested to see where that goes. And then we met the other boy who gives zero fucks. And it's like, girl, I don't fear death. I'm fine. You go ahead and kill me. I fear boredom. I don't want to be bored. Okay. So girl, and he's playing games. He's playing some manner of games. What is his game? I don't know. We'll find out later. There are a lot of questions that, will be answered along the way. So I'm not going to stress about them right now. But yeah, they were fun. I'm interested to see what their characters have in store for us. Since that main Emperor, I can't remember, Highness, whatever title they gave him, is out here searching for these pieces of the iron. I'm assuming that those pieces of the iron come together to form the Surgeon Tiger amulet that we saw in the first episode that caused all this chaos and mayhem and that whole war on the mountainside that led to Wuxian's death. So I'm wondering if they, or mainly the one henchman who just gives zero fucks, I'm wondering if they had something to do with the fate that befell Wuxian and just his overall reputation, how the entire martial arts world hates him. Like, oh, he's the biggest villain since Hitler. He's a monster and he killed all these people, this, that, the other. But like when I sit here and look at him and look at his behaviors and his interactions throughout the last 3 episodes with other people, I'm like, he doesn't seem like this. And I could be wrong. I was gonna say, he doesn't seem like this big, awful, villainous killer. And even in that first episode when we started and he was looking at this war happening on the mountainside, like the look on his face seemed like one of regret or concern, or I can't believe that it's come to this. I can't believe this is the state of the world right now. I can't believe all of this is happening. It didn't seem like someone who was reveling in the fact that there was all this death and destruction happening around him. It seemed like someone was like, oh my god, what is happening? And I don't know if that's because it was something that was brought about by his actions or just him happening to be wrong place, wrong time. So I'm curious whether or not those bad guys had something, since they're trying to assemble this, what I'm assuming is the tiger amulet. I'm wondering if they had something to do with why his reputation is in shambles. Was he just a scapegoat that they, gave all the credit to so that they could live happily ever after, or whatever it is? I don't know. We'll wait and see. But yeah, all in all, good episode. Really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, when am I going to get to episode 4? I don't know. So don't ask me. I'll get to it when I get to it. I love y'all. Signed, sincerely, Topher. Wow. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications to be notified when all of my shenanigans get posted. If there's anything else you'd like me to react to, be sure to leave it down in the comments. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love ya. Mwah.
And before you guys go, I want to give a huge